What's happening? I'm GB. That's Coop. That's Brian. This is the Sports Counterpoints podcast. Today is April the 18th, 2023. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
We are back.
We're back
Good
at it.
playoffs. Good
Yeah,
playoffs.
man. I'm glad because I talked all that stuff about basketball and now it's actually kind of dope. So, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, talk a little bit about Jalen Hurts getting big money, and a couple other topics we'll sprinkle in. So, man, let's get to it. NBA playoffs are in full swing. I got the little schedule up here I'm looking at. Um, you,
Start a series.
yeah, you guys want to just kind of go through, or what's your
Man,
flavor?
Yeah, let's talk. Let's start it up.
let's just start with the Warriors and the Kings, man.
I
Uh
told y'all.
I took the Kings game one. I had them -1 game one. Spread was -1 for game two. Thought the Warriors could probably win, but I text you guys. I said once I saw that second half spread that they don't even have the Warriors coming back to win after being down by 6 at the half. I said, "Ooh, looks like Sacramento might be the favorite to go ahead and take this second game," and they did. Um, a few things. While I texted you guys before the series started, where I was leaning, even though I picked the Warriors on this podcast, I was going to lean towards the Kings. Couple things came to mind. Number one, I just didn't think, and Brian, we'll hear from you later, but I just didn't think this was the type of Warriors team that can flip the switch. I didn't think this was that kind of team. I also know that the Warriors don't attack the rim. They just shoot a lot of threes. And everybody knows Sacramento's weakness is inside, and the Warriors don't attack inside. The Kings have been getting more points in the paint, and they've been getting all these loose balls and 50-50 balls.
Hmm.
And maybe because they're the younger team, they've been doing it. Curry's 35, and a lot of the majority of the main core guys on the Warriors are older. So, the Sacramento scrappy. I think this means a whole lot more to Sacramento as a franchise and as to,
Definitely.
selling to their fan base. Yo, look what we're building, look what we got, look at these players, and we're going to prove it by, not only challenging the Warriors but beating the Warriors. But also the Warriors have an issue when that Andrew Wiggins came back. I don't think he played for a couple of months. And so to think he's that type of player to sort of flip a switch and be in playoff mode, I think was very unrealistic. And then also having Gary Payton back on the team, which means if he's supposed to be the De'Aaron Fox stopper, which nobody's really been the De'Aaron Fox stopper this series, but if he's supposed to be the stopper, that means Jordan Poole is not going to be on the court that long. So you're kind of missing some offense there. So there's some things going against the Warriors in this series. Sacramento has home court advantage. We all know the Warriors are a bad road team. They only beat one team on the road with a winning record. That was Cleveland this year. Well, they beat another team too, but they were resting players, so I really don't count. They just really have one road victory. And they were absolutely horrible this year on the road. Brian alluded to chemistry issues because of the Draymond Green punch last week, which is definitely right, which is probably why they were so bad on the road. And then you got Draymond. What's ironic is this season started out with Draymond punching a teammate, and this season could end. And in that derailment of ending in this series or losing this series, it will be that Draymond Green, I guess, step on Sabonis. I don't know if he's getting suspended or not, but to me,
He
that's
did.
definitely
He
he
did.
did.
One
Okay,
game.
because all right, because if Patrick Beverly can get suspended for 3 games pushing somebody, and I think somebody headbutted Blake Griffin, he got a game too. I figured that Draymond should be suspended as well.
Yeah.
Long overdue in my opinion, because he just talks and does too much. But I'm gonna stop talking right there. If I had to pick who was going to win the series right now, Brian, I would have to go with the Kings, and I would be pretty confident that they can get one victory in Golden State. But what do you think about the series so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely at this point it would be easy. When you're spotting them 2 games. It's
Right.
easy to go with the Kings. I don't know. We talked about how historically bad the Warriors have been on the road this year, and so the reality of it was is that there was no chance that the Warriors were going to go and win in 4 or 5 games. There was no chance that they were going to dominate this. They were going to struggle on the road, which is what they've
Yeah.
kind of did, but not entirely. I mean, look, they got within a 3-point shot
Yeah.
of that game. I just don't know how they ran a play where Wiggins, as you said earlier, was going to be the guy that gets the ball in the corner for the 3-point shot that ultimately was the real difference. And there was stuff that ensued after, but the real shot was by Wiggins. He missed it. That's not who you want to take that shot, especially not when Clay was super hot at that point in time. And those are mistakes you make in the road, and when you're trying to get people acclimated. And Poole has not been good, but again, Poole has not been good on the road for most of the season. So what is all that to say? I think what we need to see is what happens in the next game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's at home. They've got a little bit of adversity now with Draymond being out in that game, but if they can find a way to win that game, and then it becomes, if they can even up the series at 2-2 and it's a 3-game series, and all they really have to do is find one game on the road. I like a veteran team to be able to find one game on the road and put the rest of their crap aside to get it done. So I'm not writing off the Warriors yet. But absolutely, there's a reason why these dudes in Vegas are going to put the line heavily favoring Sacramento to go on. And it's not because they're playing bad basketball. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, we all three of us have always said how much we wish he was a Laker. And
God,
he could have been a trade for him.
He could have been
times.
We could have drafted him.
And
took Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one.
I was always hurt.
Yeah, Alvin, it's a D- for Magic. Anyways, we've all really liked him, but not only is he playing clutch basketball now, he's been playing clutch basketball all season, and today he won the NBA's first most clutch player. The kid is just legitimately very, very darn good. And so he's going to cause problems. And there's Sabonis, and there's just talent on the Kings roster. So it's not a knock. But I still think that if the Warriors can win these next 2 games and make a 3-game series, I would still pick them in a 3-game series as a veteran team to find one game on the road and win at home.
I'm with you. My thing, Brian, is it's not really game 3. I'm looking at it's game 4. I fully expect the Warriors to win game 3. It's game 4. That's going to be the pivotal game. Yeah. I still pick them to win. But I notice also Kuminga, this guy that everybody keeps talking about, Kuminga. I don't really see what's special about him. I have never seen I know he's a young guy, but I've just never seen what other people are trying to convince me that he is because
shocking.
I'm just saying games I watch of the Warriors, he doesn't really have an impact, but people say, oh, he's this, he's that. You see what he did this game. And I'm sitting there like, okay,
so
they only played 4 minutes in the last game. Man.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. But
don't matter if he played 40. Somebody, a player people are very high on, Jason thinks is not that good.
No.
I've never heard this before.
Can I just see it? That's all I'm saying. Can I just see him score some points?
You should watch more sports, man.
I
he's
do.
been pretty good this season.
That's what I heard.
He's averaging 12 points a game.
That's what I heard. And so I heard that. So I'm watching these games, and it's not even 12 points. And where's the 12? That's all I'm looking for.
But you gotta watch. They have 80 of them a year.
I'm not a Warrior fan. I am not watching 80, Brian. But so I get you on that. So game 4, I'm looking at. Oh, so Brian, this is what I want to tell you. I looked at the odds to win the Western Conference to go to the finals. The not the Lakers, the Warriors are more of the favorite than the Kings. So they still think the Warriors probably gonna come back and win this series. So it's not over yet. I mean, we said in text chain, it's not over yet. Just the home team won both their games.
That was before the playoffs started, I thought.
No, they're still now. Okay. I looked at it. Yeah, I looked at it today.
Isn't it also bet on where the money's going too? Like you're gonna have more money on the Warriors.
But it's rare that a team down 0-2 that hasn't won a playoff game is still favored. Over the team that's up 2-0. That doesn't happen, and that's why it was shocked me.
A star-studded team like that is gonna have people picking them. But I always had the Kings, so I never changed on it.
Yep.
They played good offense. They played good defense. I just think this is way bigger than the Warriors are fresh off a championship. I'm not saying that they're on a hangover, but it's just different for the Kings. You're talking about having been in the playoffs or the longest drought in sports. You're talking about, hustling to make sure you had that 3rd seed to have those home court games, playing defense in crucial moments. Davion Mitchell, and they did a great job. They did a great job defensively on Steph. Now, Steph is going to get Steph points. All you can do on a score is try and make it difficult. And someone was on his hip every play. Like their switches were clean. They were just on top of it. They had Draymond out of, in his talking element. They weren't getting phased by it. They're going down and scoring on key possessions. Biggest thing I noticed, Coop, was what you said, though, in the paint. When they started moving the ball around and getting shots in the paint, it was layup after layup. But you go back to the threes. As long as you're hitting, you're killing. But you start missing, It's long rebounds and runouts.
Yeah,
And that's just
Sacramento's
what it does.
notoriously bad in inside, and the Warriors can't attack it. They just shooting threes.
Yeah,
So
they
they
were.
have no big guys either. So
Yeah,
I've
I
been
wouldn't count on a
impressed.
whole bunch of 3 for 13 performances from
no, no,
Steph in
no,
this
definitely
Right.
not.
series.
Definitely
And
not.
with that, they were right there close to the game on Steph.
Yeah,
Like now, mind you, Clay nor Poole has done Clay nor Poole things. So those guys are X factors to me. If either of them has one of the games they're capable of, that could these games could easily swing to a blowout Warriors. It's just going to depend on is King's
if
defense doing enough to keep them out of rhythm.
if it's a blowout, it'll be game 3 for the Warriors. That's why I
I
see it.
honestly think we're going to
Yeah, I
keep
think it's gonna be
seeing.
close.
Oh, I think we're going to keep seeing less of Poole, especially late in games. He has been bad. And they have Wiggins back, and Wiggins still had 20 points. I don't know the exact number, but he still had 20 points.
Yeah, he was super.
But you can tell he's not really back.
Yeah, sure. But he's hitting shots.
But
key shots.
It's got to be Clay and Steph. So you can only have one other swing player. I think they like Wiggins. I think they like his physical presence more than like Poole. And I don't know that we'll see a whole lot of Poole in the rest of the series. But
Interesting.
anyways.
All the
140 mil on the bench, but
all the emotional stuff's tying in, man. Like Poole and Draymond and Wiggins all being key factors.
I wonder
and all
if Poole
had
has a
some
better
crazy
game with
drama.
Draymond not there.
Hey, Warriors weren't game 3. I'm saying it. I had Kings
honestly,
game
man,
1. I got Warriors game 3.
When you watch Draymond, he's so important to their offense. Calling plays,
That
running,
triple
everything
single.
runs through him.
Yeah,
Everything runs through him though. Like he may make the hockey pass. Like he's so key
I
to the offense.
I think he is key, but not as much people think. But I think he is key because it allows Steph to play the 2. Steph can come off screens and Draymond can hit him for
come
3.
on.
So
What you mean it's not important?
that helps. That helps.
That's huge. When you're just
but if
finding
you're
players
losing
hitting
$140 million worth of player because Draymond's in his head, that's also huge.
Well, and Draymond will be on another team soon anyway. So, all right. So
hopefully not ours. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh man, that's funny. That's that. Shit, I don't know. Would I take Draymond? That's
no, you won't. No.
Funny.
Well, not unless it's a veteran's minimum.
Right, exactly.
I'm gonna say it
which he ain't signing for.
When both you guys agree on a player that you don't like, we both know what happened. We all 3 of us know what happened. So chill out.
Yeah, we'll see him next season.
Yeah.
Right.
Just get him for the right price.
Right.
All right, fair.
$5
Denver,
million.
Denver, Minnesota. I have nothing to say on this one. I haven't watched a minute. So
break down this series. I haven't seen it.
It's not nearly as impressive basketball as you would expect from Jokic. I mean, look, the first game just sucked. I mean, what was a 20? I'm looking at it now, 29-point blowout.
I haven't watched, and I'm not probably going to watch a game of this. I'm just going to be honest.
Well, I actually think this could be a good series.
I'll have to get your
look
at Brian working for the network. Go ahead, Brian.
No,
talk about it.
How it doesn't make sense to me that you could have the best big man combo in a previous defensive player of the year in Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, and you can hold Jokic to 13 points and lose by 29.
No.
Right? If I just walked into a room and said Jokic only had 13 points, and they were playing a team that had 2 top centers, what do you think the score is? Oh, well, that team probably won. They lost by 29 points. They got the boring one off.
And only scored 80. Yeah.
I'm not watching.
But most of that was just pretty abysmal shooting, right? You can't shoot 37 from the floor. I don't know. I'm gonna call it a throwaway game. I'm sure that's what the Minnesota coach would call it. They just say, we're not going to watch film on this. We're not going to talk about it yesterday in tomorrow practice. We're gonna just erase this one and say, you guys need to go out and play basketball and hopefully do better. If they get the same result, and both of these games are in Denver right now, if they get the same result in the second game, and it doesn't have to be 29 points, but if they win by 10 or more, this series is completely over. But it should be a better series with Ant, with Gobert, with Karl Anthony Towns. We all thought that there was no chance that Minnesota was going to win this, but I thought it would at least be some entertaining games.
Yeah. I can't.
If it's on where I'm at, I'll probably turn my back and talk to the homies.
Yeah, I can't. I have
Just not
nothing to say
watching.
about this theory.
I'm not
I
watching.
have this. I would say
What I'm
four to
talking about. Y'all
one.
should watch some basketball, man.
Yeah. You know, I would say 4-1. I would, but I'm just gonna go with the sweep.
No,
I
yeah,
think
no, I
yeah,
think I said at 5 earlier. I said
yeah,
4-1. But again, my standard is not Minnesota winning games or
yeah.
dominating or anything else. It
Right.
was I was expecting a 105 to 109 kind of game or a whatever, 5, 6 points close in the end. This game was garbage from
I,
mid-second on.
I think for Minnesota to win, what's his name? Anthony Gordon. What's his name? It's gonna
Anthony
be
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Going to have like 30-point game at least for them to win.
And
That's
he
what I think.
can.
Yeah, oh yeah, he can. Yeah, he would have
Anthony
to.
Gordon.
All
All right.
yeah.
That's
Anthony,
enough. That's enough.
Anthony something.
Clippers, Suns, man. Suns are about to win the game and tie it up 1-1.
Brian, go ahead and start this one.
Well, so it's been interesting. I'm watching the game actually as we're talking right now, and it's been pretty good. It's been back and forth. Kawhi looks like the playoff Kawhi that we've seen other times. There's periods of time where he just takes over the game, where you're trying to figure out why no one can stop him. He's doing awkward looking shots and making them look easy and hitting jumpers and getting to the rim, playing some great defense. And we're all reminded of the Kawhi that we all thought was top 3 or 4 player in the league.
Right.
And then and that happens. And then there's this guy on the other side, KD, who's also pretty good, and he has his moments too. But he's also got Booker and he's got I can't remember the center's name, but he's got big men.
Ayton.
Yeah, thank you.
If you want to, yeah,
DeAndre Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think the big difference here is that Russell Westbrook, and I know that's so predictable, but if you watch, for those of you who watched the game tonight, he missed 3 dunks. 3 dunks. And we used to talk about this all the time when he was on the Lakers. Like, nobody is more predictably bad at making a layup than a Westbrook on a break. The defensive strategy is just get out of the way. He will shoot 30% on dunks and open layups.
Key contributions this series defensively.
That was for game one. Yeah, game one.
He's had key contributions defensively. Maybe was that when the other defense he played such bad defense that the other team was able to score.
No. He was guarding KD.
No, that was that. Yeah, that was that one play. He'll get one play in the 7-game series.
Nah, bro, I'm telling you, it was he out of 59 possessions when he guarded those 3, they had 6 points.
It didn't happen today. They realized Westbrook was guarding him. It didn't happen today.
Y'all just be hating, man. Hey, Wes, man, you got a friend in me, bro. What else?
Maybe, but I mean, the reality of it is that I think it's unfortunate. I actually think the Clippers have some pieces, but you can't miss a guy like PG and go up against a team that has KD. And I mean, PG is the guy who, when healthy, even if he comes back right now, he's not going to be matched up against KD. He's not going to have the wind. He's not going to have the speed, the lateral foot, the swiftness. There's no matchup at this point in time. But if they had a healthy PG on a team that was with Kawhi playing the way he's playing now, it could have been a much more interesting series. I'm glad that they got their win out. I think this is going to be 6 games.
Yeah,
maybe the Clippers will find one more.
Yeah. If PG was playing with the Clippers, I would have took the Clippers over Phoenix for one simple reason. Phoenix is like the Philadelphia 76ers. They don't have a bench. I don't trust Phoenix, and they don't have a bench. I don't know if you heard about this, but whenever it's always a big deal when Scott Foster is refereeing a Chris Paul game. He's like 2-17. Well, now Chris Paul won a game with him refereeing, so people can stop with it being fixed whenever he plays.
But that's a conspiracy in itself, right? I mean, it hadn't happened in a while. Where he was reffing the game and he won, and everyone was paying attention to that. So
he was 0-4 in the playoffs. I get it. I still don't think the games are fixed. I just think Chris Paul just ain't good enough to win the games. But
but you can get in a ref's head and make him go a little bit more lenient.
Some people,
everybody's going to say it's fixed.
Oh yeah.
If Chris Paul lost another game, they would have been on Scott Foster's back instead of Chris Paul's back.
I hear you, Brian, but I don't think Scott Foster even cares. I just look at his demeanor. I don't think he even gives a damn. But
He cares.
I don't have I don't have much to say about the series, but because I think Phoenix is going to win. But Phoenix has no bench, and I just don't think they can keep winning playoff series after playoff series with no bench. They're going to need help. Today they only got 13 points off the bench, and they scored 123. Mainly that was Booker and Durant, 38 and 25 respectively, and Chris Paul at 16. Somebody named Roger Craig at 17. I think he was
Roger
running
Craig.
back for the 49ers in 8.5, 14 and 13. But yeah, I'm with you, Brian. I still think the Clippers win another game. I think they get one at home, but ultimately this is a 6 or 7 game series. I'm gonna go out on a limb, Brian, and I'm gonna say this is a 7 game series. I'm going on a limb with that.
It's 6. I don't just for the same reasons you just talked about. There's just not enough there. But I hear you on the Phoenix bench, but I just KD and Ayton and Paul and Booker versus Kawhi.
Well, yeah, I get it.
That's the game. Yeah, I know that other Westbrook guy is there, but
who?
Still.
That guy muted himself. All right. Also, every California team's in the playoffs. This has never happened before, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lakers, Memphis.
Brian, you start that. How you feel about game 1 and game 2?
Feel great about it. This is the one game I did not get to watch. I was at the Long Beach Grand Prix, ducking and dodging bullets.
What?
But you didn't hear about the shooting?
Oh no.
Anyways, we'll talk later. Yeah. So the Lakers, all I got to do was look at the box score. I was looking at my phone trying to get updates. Not a lot of signal down in Long Beach area by the water, but so they were kind of sporadic. But just what a great way to start the playoffs, to get a win, to get a great even distribution of points. I've looked at the box score and saw that we had 4 players in double digits. Vanderbilt, while he wasn't the scorer, was definitely a defensive presence. And then having Austin Reeves and Hachimura just go rock star. Both people I've been on and really liked, and I've liked all the players from the trade, Hachimura and Vanderbilt and Russell, and even Schroeder. So this is a big win. This is an important win. This is one of those wins that tells a team that they can do it. Also, as we talked about before the series began, I think they're going to have an advantage because Steven Adams is out. And you just add the fact that, Ja is either questionable, but either way hobbled. For even if he plays the next game and the next game after that, he's hobbled. He's not going to be 100%. I don't think much of him, but he's an important player for the Memphis team. So I think the Lakers are going to be able to hopefully make quick work of this series due to the injuries. I'm not saying that they're that much better than Memphis, but just due to the injuries, they can make quick work of this and go into a second round series healthy and strong and confident. That would be huge.
Yeah.
So
I looked at the box score too. I saw most of the game. I looked at the box score, Brian. I saw the Lakers shot 53% and shot 43 from 3. They're going to win, and they out rebounded them 45-34. So you're going to win a lot of games when you're shooting like that. The problem is I don't think they can keep shooting like that. And what scares me, Brian, about game 2
there's no center though. There's not a single player on Memphis that plays
I
center.
agree. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said. This is the only problem though, Brian. This point spread for the next game is Lakers -1. And you would think we have all these advantages and we're only favored by 1. That scares me. So I don't think by any means, I think game 2 is going to be harder than game 1, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm hoping they can pull it out. I'm not saying they can't, but with point spread being 1 point, they're essentially saying this is a toss-up game. Any team can win. So
you got to steal one on the road. And they did that. So.
We did that, but I don't think we're the
play
type
hard
of,
tomorrow, but
true. We're not the type of team that can just give away games. We need to try to win everything, and so I'm hoping they can do it. So we'll see.
I agree.
I think the Lakers win tomorrow. The game that I worry that they're going to give away is when they get a daytime game. Luckily, I'm going to the game on Saturday. Okay. They would not do me dirty and lose when I play. So there you go. You got 2 more wins coming up, I think. But yeah, I hear you on the point spread. I think that I personally think Ja Morant will do anything to play in this game. Yeah. I just don't think that you can be the player he needs to be: aggressive, ball handler, shooter when you get a jacked up wrist. Like that's just
Yeah.
asking
That's tough.
and expecting too much. Regardless of what I think of him as a player, any player that is expected to carry that kind of load, it's tough when you've got a messed up wrist.
Yeah, it's another thing, man. I mean, Hachimura had 29 off the bench, man. I don't know. We have to have some kind of player, and even if it's not him, to try to have a big game for us to pull out two straight on the road. But also, is AD hurt?
We have so many of those guys now. I mean, like Malik Beasley can do that, right? Schroeder can do that. Hachimura can do that. I don't expect him to go 5 for 6 for and 11 for 14 from the field anytime against him. And Reeves can do that, and Russell can do that, and that. Yeah. It's cool to have those options after having such a lousy team.
Yeah. I'm with you. Well, we'll see. I'm hoping they pull it out too. But Brian, any thoughts on this?
Tomorrow. What's that?
Any thoughts, Brian? I mean, not Brian. I'm sorry, Glenn. Any thoughts on this? I'm sorry.
I didn't get to see the. I picked the Lakers. I didn't get to see the game. I watched tomorrow's, but I picked the Lakers. I just think a veteran team in this situation. And the Grizzlies just had too much going on this year.
Yeah, man, we had a lot of good. And Reeves had 23 points in 30 minutes, man. And
yeah, I've seen the scores.
Was able to coast, and
Reeves and Hachimura were getting hot.
Yeah, man, they combined for 52 points. So I don't know. We'll see, fellas.
Yeah. Up next, what about the East Coast, Miami, Milwaukee?
Go ahead,
Miami's up 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, we can't be surprised, right? We talked about the fact that Miami is one of those teams that can get to a point in the playoffs or any point in time where you have a guy like a Jimmy Butler and he can lead the team. He doesn't have to be the most important guy on it all the times, but he had 35 points. He was 15 for 27.
Big deal.
He played basketball. Jimmy is not one of you may not like him, the person, or you may think that he's a controversial player on a team or whatever, but that guy has always played basketball on the basketball court. Yep. Even when he was playing with Minnesota and talking all the crap trash, and it was kind of annoying, to be honest, as a somewhat lightweight Minnesota fan because of, I have Minnesota history. But even then, Jimmy Butler, when he showed up on a game day, he played great. And for Embiid loves that dude. He didn't get along with Ben and some of the other people on the 76ers, but Embiid loved that dude. People think that he is the heart and soul, and so he's doing it again. I mean, who are these guys he's playing with? Like Tyler Hero is nobody special. Plays
he got and Hero's hurt.
Yeah, and he's out, and Vincent and he's getting a lot out of these guys. But 35 and 11, man, from a small forward is big time, and hats off to him for finding a way to beat a really good team. Now, let's all be aware, and for those of you who didn't watch the game, Giannis did not play.
I thought I got hurt or something.
He played 11 minutes after hurting his back, and hopefully he gets to play. So that's obviously a huge factor in Miami.
That'll do it.
But Jimmy deserves some credit for still going out there and playing some damn good basketball.
Agreed. You're muted, Coop.
Thank you, fellas. Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Brian. Giannis being hurt, I don't know how. I still think Milwaukee can actually win the series with him being hurt, but Jimmy's going to get his buckets whether Giannis is on the court or not. And playoff Jimmy Butler is a totally different player than regular season Jimmy Butler. He comes out, he's relentless, he attacks. He passes sometimes, but he's looking to actually score, put pressure on you, and attack the basket. He'll rebound too. I think Brian said he had 11 rebounds with 35.
No, he had 11 assists.
11 assists. Oh, he's passing. Yeah. Oh, he's finding people too. So
4 players in double digits. Bam got 22. That's definitely the impact. That's where Giannis being out was really impactful, and Bam getting his 22 points. But he found players and he played hungry basketball.
Yeah. Well, one thing though that would if I'm a Miami Heat fan is that Miami scored 130 this game. I don't think they're even gonna get close to probably 110 the next game. So they're gonna have to use some defense. I don't know if Giannis is playing or not. I think they said he's day-to-day or something like that. So we'll have to see. But if Giannis is somewhat healthy, I think they win. But Miami can still make this a series because I don't think Giannis will be 100%, at least not next game. Yeah,
give you that.
He did. I remember he had a hyperextended knee in the playoffs that year. Remember Phoenix beat him the first 2 games, and once he got over that hyperextended knee, they swept the series. They won 4 straight. So Well, it all depends on his health. We'll see.
Bird. What about New York Knicks and Cleveland Cavaliers?
So
And
I'm
this,
not even
a
gonna
lot of
lie.
people are picking this to be the great, one of the good series in the
Yeah,
first round. I
I don't
think
think
it's
we
easy.
picked it to be one of the great series.
I think we did, but I'm not even
No,
gonna
I don't think
lie.
I did not. I thought
Yeah,
the
I
game, the
don't know
great
that you guys
series were going
did.
to be we're going to be Warriors and Zach, and then Cleveland and
Cleveland, yeah, we bet Cleveland, yeah.
yeah,
I
Cleveland
think
and
I had like Cleveland maybe
Yes,
in six or
yes, we're talking
something.
about Cleveland and New York. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm Cleveland in six. But the thing about this series, I'm not gonna lie. I bet the other day just the under because I don't think many points are going to be scored in this game. I think these teams are just about even, but Cleveland has slightly better talent, maybe even a little bit better coach, and I just don't trust Tibbs. I'm not a Tibbs guy like that. But the game, I think it was, I don't know, the Knicks lost. I think it was like 103-90, something like that. And the last game was like 101-98. So if you're one of the people still stuck in the early 90s that like all them defensive struggles and battles and people who can't score, I mean,
we're talking
this is your
about
game.
200-point games as defensive struggles these days.
Yeah, these days,
Yeah,
yeah, these
it
days,
is.
yeah, Brian, these
I,
days,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, because
But
back in those things, it was 85, 87, and then
yeah,
they
that's
started
true.
making if
That's
you
true.
breathe on a player, you get to shoot free throws just so the
Right.
numbers were bigger.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yep.
I do like actually watching Jalen Brunson. It looks like he's maybe because he's
Fun to watch.
paid, but he's
He's
pretty good fun to watch.
he's
Yeah,
playing good in Dallas, man.
yeah. Well, I mean, but he looks like he's more in feeling him. I guess has more autonomy, kind of feeling himself, playing more
Yeah,
confidently with the New York Knicks.
he
So
was
he's
balling in
fun to watch.
Dallas and in school. Yeah.
He got away from Luca. Good for him. But Brian, what you think about
Hilarious.
this series?
I think it's fun watching Brunson. I think it's fun watching Randall. I think they're pretty good. I just don't think there's enough players that are at that level yet. I think RJ Barrett can be at that level. He's just not there yet. I think Robinson's never going to be at that level. I think Toppin's never going to be at that level. I think these are guys that are deep bench on real playoff teams, and they are starters on the New York Knicks around Julius Randle and Brunson, who I think are playing well. I said this with you all. I thought this would be a really interesting series because it would be more about watching the Cleveland young guys and seeing if they could develop faster in a vacuum in the playoffs. Mobley has, for him, kind of struggled. He's playing playing solid, but he's not world beating it. Right? Tonight it was Darius Garland who literally just caught fire. And then Mitchell's been very steady, and he caught fire in the last game. Again, I think this is going to be we said it would be a solid series, but in the end, Cleveland has more talent ready and at the level to be in the playoffs than the New York Knicks do.
Yeah.
And that's why, even though I'm a pretty darn big Julius Randle fan, as most people might know, I don't.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Alvin, that's for you too. Anyways.
All good. The next two series, Glenn, I'm just gonna whiz through this. Boston, Atlanta. I have nothing to say. I've not watched the game. I just saw the final score. Said pretty much
I watched the
expected.
game. I love watching beat downs of crappy point guards.
Oh,
This guy.
Trae Young. Yeah.
We all figured Boston was going to pretty much sweep this series. So
And what's the Philly? Got it. Yeah.
Philly,
I don't know
and the Nets.
why do I always
Nets.
I don't know why I like talking about James Harden. I think I figured out why. Maybe because he's the only player I know that got his jersey retired at the Gentlemen's Club in Houston. No lie, it's actually retired there. But James Harden is a different player, and Philly doesn't get to the free throw line anymore, so he's kind of not as effective as he usually is in the playoffs or used to be in the playoffs. Embiid has been solid; it's been great. They're playing against Brooklyn, so yeah, I expect them to beat Brooklyn, but I fully expect them to lose to Boston. I just don't think they have enough. They would need like a superstar James Harden to actually have a chance to beat them, and they just don't have that with
He's
Harden
not
right
that dude
now.
no more.
Yeah, he's just not. He's just not that guy, and that's what I've noticed in this series, Glenn and Brian. James Harden is just not that guy, and he just, like I said, if he can't get to the free throw line anymore, it's just, what is he? So, yeah. But that's all I gotta say about this. Philly still should win in like 5 games. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been obvious this entire season. And after the refs stopped treating him like a superstar, that James Harden isn't that guy anymore. Now, it's not to say he couldn't have 1 or 2 big games,
Yeah.
and not to say that they even need it to beat the Brooklyn Nets, because they clearly don't. But they're going to need it if they want to beat some of the other teams down the series. Go further on. look, we said that Brooklyn Nets did a great job of making do with what they had, which wasn't a lot, and getting into the playoffs. Congratulations to them. I hope they enjoy their 4 games in the playoffs, and hopefully some people get some incentives.
Same as last year.
But yeah, except for last year they were paying superstar dollars. Now they're doing it with G League dollars.
Sure. Yeah.
Same results. But anyways, like I said, happy for Brooklyn Nets. They're not in the right class. This is not a series that needs to be paid much attention to. But on the Atlanta side, we're moving there.
Oh no, we are. I did that real quick.
You just kind of ran through them both. Yeah, do you think?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Always nice to watch Trae Young get what Trae Young deserves. Him and his big mouth. Nice. He always talking about how he's the superstar. Well, okay, go ahead, superstar.
Yeah, try to win a game.
But more importantly, I think we need to get to a point where everyone just recognizes that Jason Tatum, who is not a big talker and just continues to go out there and do it, has reached that status, and more people need to give him his flowers.
Well, Jason Tatum is a great offensive scorer. The thing about Tatum is he has to do it when it matters, probably in the finals or whatever. But everybody knows that dude can score. I mean, he can put up points with the best of them. So in the league,
29, 6, and 10 is pretty good.
Nobody.
Yeah, no, he could ball.
Yeah,
it's when it matters.
Coop,
that's all.
Coop, you had a hypothetical?
Man, I forgot what them questions was. I ain't gonna lie.
All right.
I forgot. Yes.
Well, if you think about it, pop it back up.
No doubt.
Give us one if you think about it. So, NBA talk. So switching over, best quarterback in the league gets paid. Jalen Hurts just got.
Mahomes already got his money. What you talking about?
Got his money. Joe Burrow hasn't gotten paid.
And
yet.
somebody
Josh
else
Allen
is about to get some money. Exactly. Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all crazy. All right. So, jokes aside,
I like Jalen Hurts.
No.
Yeah.
Let me start on this.
Bust.
No, I called him a trash. I said he was trash. And when so what we're all talking about is Jalen Hurts just signed his massive deal, and so I'm going to start. Because it's been rumored that I called him a bust, and I didn't. The text message said he was trash, and he was trash.
I got about 40 of them, Coop.
Yeah.
And you've never once, and just so we know, you don't use that in your vocabulary. You do not go, XYZ player is a bust. You call them trash. You call them garbage.
That's right.
Tell him.
There you go.
Tell him his mama wouldn't like him.
No.
I got video picture proof of all of these comments.
So
you were so lucky I was driving when you said that. I was driving.
Never called him a bust. You can't be a bust if you're in the second round.
You've never called any player a bust. It's not in your vocabulary. You called everything else. You called his mama a trash truck.
No. I call players bust all the time, draft first round. But I'm gonna go. So Jalen Hurts.
I guarantee you didn't.
No. I call Zach Wilson a bust.
iPhones have indexes.
Oh yeah, I do too. So Jalen Hurts, he gets his money. Good for him. And his contract that he just signed is a testament to all the work that Jalen Hurts has put in to become a better quarterback in the NFL. Because I said before, and nobody questions his work ethic. He does everything he can on and off the field, off season, in season, whenever, to try to improve himself as a passer, as a quarterback, etc. Doing everything he needs to do. You never hear about him off the field troubles. You never hear about him being a cancerous teammate. All the guys like him. He's a bodybuilder. He's strong. He runs the ball a lot. Now I got to give Jalen Hurts credit. He didn't come in. Of course, he was nowhere near a refined passer, but I will give Jalen Hurts credit. His deep ball has been really good this past season, and especially in the Super Bowl. He was putting some 20, 25, 30-yard passes on the money down the field in the Super Bowl. He played a really good Super Bowl, and knock against Jalen Hurts. He never played well in big games, but he did play well in this big game. And obviously now, giving a player a huge contract off of one good season, I mean, I call that the Eric Dampier. I mean, you kind of want to see just a little bit more because he is going to have a new offensive coordinator, but the Philadelphia Eagles believe in him, and that's all he needs to believe him to get the money. So smart for Jalen Hurts to take that contract. Also heard that Lamar Jackson was offered the same contract and money, and he turned that down. I don't know why. That's pretty good money. Now, I think the Eagles team won't be as good once that extension kicks in because
that
get less help.
You got to look at his cap though. The way they structured his cap hit is not high at all. I
It's
don't know
not
how.
high this year, but as the years go on, and but
Bro,
what I also thought about it is Mahomes' contract a few years from now, it's going to be like maybe the 10th highest contract. Before it was number
oh
one,
yeah,
everybody said how much it was, but his contract is going to shrink and shrink and shrink as far as like cap dollars or salary cap dollars per year, because a lot of people, and like Brian alluded to, the winner of it was two winners when I saw Jalen Hurts get paid. Number one, it was Joe Burrow, because this guy, I mean, look, the Philadelphia Eagles were an established organization before Hurts got there. Kansas City was an established organization, a big boy grown-up organization before Mahomes got there. Joe
true.
Burrow went to the Bengals. So the fact that he almost got, because that's the thing I question about. I never questioned his talent. I questioned he's going to the place that ruins careers. He's going to the Bengals, and he's made them viable almost with the two straight Super Bowls. So he
Yep.
sees Jalen Hurts' contract. Oh, he's like, I'm about to get paid. And then the second winner in this is the Baltimore Ravens, because now everybody knows it's been put out that he was offered the same contract as Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts just went to a Super Bowl. Lamar has only won one playoff game his whole career. So I mean, it's going to be a little give and take here. Maybe they both need each other. I think we both agreed on that, Brian. They need to just get a deal done, and Lamar just needs to just take the emotion out of it and just sign that damn deal and
The
get them moving.
Jalen Hurts, 255 million, 5-year extension, 179.3
Yeah.
million guaranteed.
Guaranteed. And he gets that signing bonus too. So yeah, that,
Yeah,
that
get
that's
that money
that's a good
now.
change. Yeah, get the money now. Exactly. That's what you're supposed to do. But Brian, what you feel about the contract?
Yeah, no, he absolutely deserved it. The other, yeah, and Lamar Jackson actually benefits from this, not because only because they're setting the price, and yet there's another quarterback. Because it's not really just about Deshaun Watson; it's about all of these guys who have gotten deals over there. And you look at it, Lamar Jackson has an MVP, and whatever you think about it, you can't take that away from him. I have never read that he got offered a deal anywhere near that 250 number. The number that I saw that he got was around 200 with like 130, and he turned that down. I think if with all that's coming out, I still think that the number is going to be north of 200 million, which has always been what I thought. And I think that guaranteed money, if they could get it north of 150, that they could probably get a deal from Lamar. But I haven't heard that he got offered that money. And I do think that there's been a reality check for him, and that he's not going to get a Deshaun Watson kind of deal where everything's all guaranteed. But congratulations to Jalen Hurts. That's what you should get when you win a Super Bowl and are
Not
the
win,
team.
not win. Win
Well,
to
not win a
Got
Super,
there.
get to a
Yeah.
Super Bowl, but sorry. But you should get that kind of money. You should get those types of accolades, and it's nice to see a quarterback do that. That
Yeah.
being said, you can't win with teams that are giving this much money to quarterback. You still got to get somebody. There's a bunch of mock drafts changed the minute they offered him that contract, and it went to now them trying to get Bijan Robinson in the first round because they don't have money to pay running back. So they're going to try. Now everyone's talking about how they're going to have to find players on offense that can play with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts that take a lot less money. This is the same problem that other quarterbacks have had. But when you have somebody, Mahomes is better than Jalen Hurts. I don't think there's any arguing that. I think Hurts is in that 6 to 10 range right now in the league.
Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson. But yeah, go ahead.
I disagree with you on that. But at the same time, I really like Hurts. So if I put Lamar Jackson 5 and Hurts 6 or vice versa, I don't think that really matters. They're in that same tier group, in my opinion. But anyways, congratulations to them. I do think, as you were just saying, it's time for Lamar to get the deal done. I think they will. There's nobody else to wait for. There's nothing else to wait and see. The market has been set. The league has already made its statement that they're not going to trade multiple first-round picks and give up the money to get Lamar Jackson. So they are going to play. But what is really good for Lamar Jackson is every single time one of these huge deals goes up, his contract, his 1-year deal for being a franchise player goes up. So
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
average
the
of the top.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know
top
they
five.
kept going until the season starts. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's the league dollars. So So Lamar Jackson probably sent him a gift and said, "Congratulations, you just made me 2, 3, 4, whatever the million in the difference to get that average up." So, anyways, congratulations to Jalen Hurts. I think that's outstanding.
But there's no.
And by the way, like I said, I literally have I have every text message since forever in my phone, and it's all indexed. You have called one player a bust in all the years we've been text messaging. Do you know who it was?
Who?
Here's a hypothetical. I'm asking. Do you guess?
No, I don't remember. I know I've said who was going to be busting our podcast, but who I said over text?
Goff.
Oh, okay.
But going back and forth with you know who.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I know on the podcast I'll call.
You said he was a flat out bust.
Oh my God. Never liked Goff. Yeah, but that's a whole nother story, fellas. Yeah. All right. So yeah, good for Hurts, man. And like I said, I just like the fact that I hear bad things off the field about Zach Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and some other guy I mentioned, but I don't hear anything about Jalen Hurts. They just say, "Oh, this guy, he's working out. Oh, he's throwing. He's trying to develop some touch on his throws." Yeah, exactly. It's the exact opposite, and that's what you want because a quarterback is a 24/7 position. You just can't, be all up, Jimmy G string.
I knew he was gonna say that. Man, this ain't about that, bro. All right,
what I'm saying? You can't be all that.
We beat this story to death. We beat this story to death. The boy gets money. He's great. Okay.
But good for Jalen. I'm done.
His agent's a black woman too, so she signs the
his whole team,
whole marketing team.
No. I think it's a couple. I think it's all black, white, and I think one Indian lady.
His agent, his main agent,
but it's all women.
Nicole Lynn, black woman, orchestrates this huge deal, so that's cool. Cool for her and her position too. So shout out to her. You guys did you guys have any baseball thoughts?
The only thing I'll say about baseball right now is it's fun watching the Twins be good. It happens at the beginning of so many seasons where I'm like, oh, the Twins they're gonna be good, and they start off real hot, and then they start to fall back to the middle. But right now they're 10-7 after starting, I think 7-0, and they're winning some games. And then on the flip side of the coin, the Dodgers were until about an hour and a half ago upside down and were 8-9, and they just got back to 9-9. I have no idea what they're doing. They have a plus 21 point differential, which is tops in the West, but could barely have a winning record until today. Or they don't even have a winning record yet. But it's just I don't understand the team just yet. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I say there's a lot of games left.
Yeah. Tampa Bay baseball. Tampa Bay is trying to win the World Series early. The Red Sox, they're not that good. I'm with you on the Twins, Brian, because my brother-in-law is the head scout for that team. So I'm always.
Yeah, you told me that. That's awesome.
Always room for the Twins. The AL West is up for grabs in the terrible division. And one thing in baseball that's always I don't know, just on my mind, just how they're not a good team is the Angels. How they have Trout, they got Rendon, and they have Ohtani, and yet they're 9-8.
Two of the three best players in the league,
right? And they suck.
And they still suck
every year. I don't get
it. World, two of the best in the world. We watched the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I was like, I don't get how the Angels, like, you see those stats sometimes in the game. Ohtani had a home run, Trout had a home run. They both went 3 for 4, and they lost 12-8. It's like, or 11-5 or something.
Oakland A's have won 3 times. You guys got to be there to see one against the two.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. So and the A's, we suck. But the National going to
no money.
No, not at all.
Nowhere.
$40 million payroll in baseball. But going to the National League, I know the Nationals, they're bad. The NL Central is really up for grabs. And then the NL West looks like it'll be a 3-team, well, actually a 2-team race when it gets down to it. Dodgers and Padres. I don't think the Diamondbacks will keep up with it. But other than that, just those are my early thoughts on baseball. First 18 games or so of the season. Still a lot more games to play. 140.
I have watched games. Usually I follow them and I go to them, but I don't really watch them on a thing. So I have actually watched a couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers are actually kind of fun to watch because they score in bunches. And so the games that they win, they're usually winning like 9-0 and 11-3. But on the flip side, they lose anything that's close.
Yeah. Word. All right, appreciate you guys, man. We're coming up to our last couple segments. Starting with
Hogwash.
What Brian created, man. What's a bunch of hogwash? So
Brian created. Brian starts it unless you want me to start it.
Okay. No, I got one.
All right.
So here's what's hogwash. Glenn jinxed the Oakland A's and Ring Central, man, and that's hogwash. So so for those who've been listening, Glenn went in after going to Oakland A Stadium on Ring Central, the service that we use to put the podcast together, actually. But Ring Central sign looking like it got put up after a Kinko's. And then not a week and a half later is an article talking about how they very quietly removed the branding from the stadium. They took down the Kinko's sign.
You would need no noise but 2 scissors.
No, right. Or take out the push pin.
That's it.
Yeah. So, Glenn, you're over here making major marketing decisions. It's nice to know that our reach is there. And congratulations to Glenn for making things happen. But damn, you have to do them that way.
So Brian, man. I'm not gonna lie. When Glenn saw that sign, it did look like it had push pins in there. Seriously, it looked like it was bad, covering another sign. Seriously, It really looked like that. Like they just put that over it. Yeah, it was bad.
And the sign was 4 by 5 maximum. Like, it was not.
It was real generic.
It was not big at all. Yeah. Like it wouldn't have covered. It's smaller than posters I used to have in my room of Kobe, bro. Like it was tiny. Man.
Yeah.
I just thought it was so funny. Like you were talking about it, and you were let's just say emphatic. And then
it was bad.
And then there's literally a little article that talks about Ring Central, and I got sent to us by someone who listens to the show. Got sent to. I just think it was so hilarious that news got out there.
I'll take that.
Shout out to my friend Ryan who saw and sent us the article.
I'll take that. Cool.
All right. So my hogwash segment is going to be on the what you call it, the New York Giants. So the New York Giants foolishly gave a quarterback I didn't like in the draft. I told you guys, Daniel Jones, played in the ACC. I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, know all about ACC teams and players. Never heard of this guy. So he's not any good in my opinion. He's just a below average quarterback. If you take out the 2 games he played against the Vikings last year, he's a little mediocre, probably a little less than that. Well, he got an $82 million fully guaranteed contract, okay? And this is a guy who needs a lot of help, okay? $36 million signing bonus, $82 million fully guaranteed contract. Here is the problem why it's hogwash for the Giants. Saquon Barkley is not accepting his franchise tag deal because Saquon's agent probably knows, like I know, and probably a lot of other people know, Daniel Jones is nothing without a whole lot of help. And Saquon Barkley wants a long-term deal. And usually, now, I don't think Saquon Barkley is all that and worth a whole bunch of money, but I'm in Saquon's corner on this one. If you got to play with Daniel Jones, you need to get paid because he's going to need a lot of help. And not only Saquon Barkley, but the best defensive player on the Giants, Dexter Lawrence, he's holding out and wants a new contract because he knows with the quarterback that he has on his team, they're going to need some defense to win. So Saquon and Dexter Lawrence both want to get paid because they saw what Daniel Jones got. And I blame solely the New York Giants for giving that kind of foolish contract to somebody like Daniel Jones. Now you're going to have to pay everybody. They're stuck, and they're going to have to play Saquon. He's going to get his money, and they're going to have to play somebody on defense to help, shut the other team down. So I'm squarely in the corner of the players to get more money.
I'm gonna put my own conspiracy theory out there. They don't go after Saquon. They let him sit out. Yeah. And they make a trade for a guy like Dalvin Cook or someone else who's out there without a deal as well.
Well, Ezekiel still need a team too. Ezekiel Elliott still needs a team.
Yeah. I always agree with players holding out. Yeah. You should do what it takes to get your money.
Josh Jacobs too.
Remember that the worst position to play in football from a contract standpoint is running back.
From everything.
And that is unfortunate because they're one of my favorite things to watch is great running back play. And I do think Saquon is that darn good when he's healthy. But there's just so many people waiting in the balance that if you don't sign that deal, there's going to be 4 or 5 people who will step right on in.
Oh, and I'm with you on that, Brian. And also, it's the easiest position to transition from college to pro is actually running back as well. And Saquon, look, this guy only played before this season, played 13 games the last 2 seasons because the guy ain't really that healthy. He finally put it all together. He wants
He had
his
a great
money,
season last
but
year.
he had a really good season last year. So I see both sides of it. But you said he could be easily replaced with somebody. So we'll see.
Hey,
But
same thing with
yeah,
Josh Jacobs. That's what I was saying last year. I don't think he's going to get signed. They're not going to. No one's going to pay. Unfortunately, it's very few teams are going to pay big money. What you think you should get paid as a running
And,
back, no one's going to do it.
yeah,
and great players. This happens in running back more so than any other position. Great players end up disappearing.
yeah.
Like at one point in time, we were talking about how James Conner could be one of the better running backs in the game and all this other stuff. And then, now he's on layaway over in Arizona.
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't know he
Still
was
has,
still playing. Okay.
yeah, I
yeah.
had him on. I had
And
him on a fantasy
he
team.
was actually
So
solid.
he got
Yeah.
Like the
hurt
kid can still play, but
until I
he
drafted him. Once I
yeah,
drafted him,
yeah.
it's over.
You might as well put him on IR now.
The
Um,
it doesn't matter,
but
man.
yeah,
If you're running back, you're unfortunately screwed. Like Josh Jacobs is not, they're not going to sign him, and I hate to see. I already see where this is going for us too. So it's the same situation.
I mean, well, Josh Jacobs and Saquon, yeah, they're decent running back, but I mean, they ain't Walter Payton or nobody. I mean, you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
But they're decent
honestly.
running backs, yeah.
If you
I don't
were
know that.
Walter Payton, I don't know that you'd get paid like that in this market.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Honestly,
true.
or you go
Yeah.
to a team that's gonna, you're gonna go to a team that's,
That value running backs.
Yeah, I don't think
I
Walter
think the
Payton
Saints.
made and I've
Yeah,
never done the look at it, but
Yeah.
I don't think those great running backs even then got
yeah,
the kind of respect as
Yeah.
players. They were considered. I mean, Gale Sayers, the minute he got hurt, and him and Brian Piccolo and all these other guys, the minute they got hurt, they were
Yeah.
out of
yeah.
the
It's
the,
Or
the,
always the
the,
case.
or
the
fumbled like
conversation.
Roger Craig. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
always the
got you.
case.
Yeah.
All right, so sliding to mine, my hogwash, what's a bunch of hogwash is I gotta go out to the ambassador of the Bay, man, to 40 Water, E40 Fonzarelli, Earl Stevens, who's at a Kings game and gets into it with some fan behind him, screaming whatever about the
Politely.
words or whatever. And 40 eventually says something back and gets kicked out. Now, we've all been to games. Of the three of us, I think I'm the only one that's been asked to sit down at a game. Did so, not so happily, but to kick 40 Water out or kick anybody out for something like that, it just, more of the facts need to come out. I don't understand. Excuse me, what you'd have to be doing, because we've all seen 40 Water at tons of games, Giants, Niners, playoff games all throughout the country. Never seen anything like this. So all of a sudden now in Sac it happens. Main thing, I would like people to know that's not a Sacramento thing. Unfortunately, and I don't know who's listening, and just a quick glance and off what 40 said, it appears to be a white privilege thing, where this lady sitting here and she owns stadium and she was all excited to get him kicked out. I saw the video of her all happily cheering as he left. He gets into it with some white lady, who's and I mean I grew up in Sac. You ask anybody about Sac, yeah, we let the city talk whatever, but if you ask is it racist, most people are gonna be like, yeah, it ain't, it ain't Rainbow, Rainbow City. Like they're definitely out there. You got the Karens out there. So I just think it's terrible optics. I was surprised the Kings. If I was the Kings, I would have definitely reached out to his people. I'm gonna put you in the owner suite for the next game. Our apologies. We'll get to it. You just don't. For one, it's good business because I don't want any Rana Dive, the owner, being a music guy and all this stuff. I don't want anybody thinking that your money's not good here because it is, and we care about it. And two, I don't want to give any bulletin board material to the other team. So I don't know how much the Warriors are gonna love 40, but if it's me, we're playing 40 Water all game next game. We're having them on the court to start it up. We're doing all of it just like we love you, and just super playing up what 40 does. So I think it's terrible. Sacramento loves 40. I've seen E40 perform in that building. Been a we've all, every one of us has listened to 40 since we were little in my age. So I just think it was hella hogwash to be kicking out E40 of a game. I just think it's ridiculous. Terrible optics.
Sprinkle me, man. No
Yeah,
doubt.
exactly, bro. I'm tripping. So, all right. So now last segment of the day, the minute to win it, man. Whatever you guys want to say, the floor is yours.
Oh man, I don't have it. Just thank you everybody that's been listening, especially those who listen to us every week. We
Yeah.
definitely love all of you.
If you're to this point, really appreciate you. Hey, mom.
Mhm.
B.
I'm going to say two things. One, congratulations to Clayton Kershaw, who won his 200th game
Nice.
tonight. That's just an outstanding career marker. I'm glad he was able to do it with the Dodgers because the last two off seasons it looked like he might move on to someplace else because he might not have been a great fit. And he always found a way to be back. That's amazing, and congratulations to him, and congratulations to the Dodgers for being able to have one of the all-time greats on on the team for such a long period of time and showing that dedication. And then the other thing is, for those of you who are looking at these things, Fox today had to pay, or agreed to pay, $787 million to Dominion for spreading election lies. And for every single one of those damn broadcasters who has consistently played with the truth and bent it, just told flat out lies and gotten away with it and defamed people, and started false narratives that were forever to go. I sincerely hope that the next time Fox News wants to negotiate those jerks contracts, that they start taking that $787 million out of them so they feel as much pain. But other than that, this is just wonderful news. Fox News losing is everybody else winning.
Oh man,
mine real quick, man, is probably random, but a shout out to Kobe Bryant, man. Rest in peace to him and Gianna and everybody who lost in that helicopter accident. I still follow pages that are just Kobe quotes, Kobe live game footage. It's just like what he meant to the game, what he meant to me being a Lakers fan, watching his whole career and just everything.
Women's sports.
Everything, man. Like he's just the influence he still has, the Mamba mentality, the dedication to your craft, to be better. You know, just everything Kobe meant, man. So rest in peace to him, to Gianna, everybody we lost in the accident, but just appreciate everything that he did, honestly.
Yeah, he was one of those players when he stopped playing, not when he passed away, when he stopped playing, he was more appreciated. I think LeBron might be the same way once he stopped playing. I think his accolades would be more appreciated because I don't think Kobe was appreciated as much while he was playing. We all knew he was great.
People
We
love to
all
hate
knew
him.
what we were watching. Yeah, we all knew what we were watching, but I don't think everybody else actually knew. But the players in the league, they knew. They definitely knew, and we knew as fans.
Russell Westbrook's probably gonna be like that too. That's our show. This is the Sports Counterpoints podcast. Thank you all for listening. It's October 18th. Excuse me. It's April 18th, 2023. We'll
See, that's
catch
what
y'all
you get
next
for
time.
saying Westbrook.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.